It's your boy Jack and check it out, because you know what, man, maybe I'm just suffering from a syndrome of being broke, okay? Maybe the broke nigga syndrome has afflicted me, because listen, my thoughts on thing is this, okay? If you owe me $5, I'm texting you about every 2 days, okay? I gotta get my money back, okay? You owe me like 50, listen, I'm on your Instagram, I'm all in the comments, my nigga, pay up, okay? You owe me over 100. Well, nigga, we gonna get a little bit serious, okay? I'm calling your phone. You owe me over 1,000? Well, my nigga, I'm probably gonna have your mama tied up, probably your kids tied up, and probably your sister tied up too. Come on, man, you gotta give me my money. Stop the fucking around, okay? But in the industry, man, it's commonplace. A lot of guys, they owe each other money. They don't get paid. They go through months on end. Usually, lawyers get involved, and something kind of works itself out. But finally, this time, we're seeing like before the lawyers get involved, because Birdman, he's actually being sued again, this time by a producer, okay? And the producer's name is Develop, but I think it's shortened DVLP. You know how these guys do it. Anyway, pretty much, he's saying that Birdman stiffed him, okay, and pause, I know, pause. He's saying Birdman stiffed him out of money. He says he's owed like $200,000 for work he did with Cash Money artists, including Lil Wayne, and claims he got the text messages to prove it. Now, he did produce, and I checked the credits, he produced on Lil Wayne Carter 3 album, I Am Not a Human Being, Carter 4, I Am Not a Human Being 2, and even the Free Wheezy album, okay? Now, here's the thing about that, because he thought he should get paid. Apparently, he'd been trying to get paid for years, but he kept doing stuff for Lil Wayne even though he didn't get paid. So he's been texting Birdman recently because he wants to get his money rather than go through a lawsuit. Of course, if you know somebody, you're kind of cool with them, you probably hit them up first like, yo, dog, could you pay me my bread, man? Come on, man, I ain't trying to sue you. The suing thing is not that fun, okay? Because then it's the lawyers. Now, the text messages came out, and I'm not going to lie, this is fucking hilarious, because number one, it's exactly how we think texting Birdman would go. Number two, Birdman clearly doesn't have like all the correct on his phone. Number three, Birdman doesn't give a fuck as we thought. Now, let me just read these text messages, and pretty much, let's just kind of put it out there. This guy ain't getting no goddamn bread, okay? Apparently there wasn't, like, paperwork, and he's really going off, like, word of mouth. He's hoping these text messages hold up in court, but come on. It's Birdman, okay? Birdman hand-rub tossed the lawsuit in the bushes. Now, this is what he said. He said, and this is him typing to Birdman. I'm sorry for the poor quality text messages, but that's what TMZ actually extracted. So, he says to Birdman, you sent me a bunch of messages last week about us talking and sending the money you owe, but never showed up. Man, I don't understand what you're doing, but it seems every week I'm hearing about someone else that's real solid with you, filing a legal action to get it right. That ends up getting bad press. Today, I just heard about another situation about to come down on you. Maybe you enjoy spending more on the lawsuits piling up one after the other. I know you call yourself the #1 stunner, and you got your own style of how to handle things. I don't want to tell you your business, but in some of these situations, I had a hook in that. It would have worked for you. I don't understand what you're doing because you're missing that move, man. I'm a young exec with a lot of action that could be making a lot of money for you. Okay, rather than work with me, you're playing. I could have helped you out big time. I don't get it. I thought you were smarter than that. Now, of course, Birdman answers like a boss. He says, get you paid, homie. All that shit, save it. Oh my God, Birdman is that nigga. He says, I'm getting you paid. After you get paid, it's whatever you want to do. This guy is typing paragraphs. Birdman is answering like a sentence, not like a broken sentence at that. Then he says, I'm glad for your sake you got a plan to deal with all this shit they're throwing at you, but you still ain't right with me. We're down years on these songs with no paperwork. That's where you fucked up. No paperwork. And you need to do right with me yesterday. Don't lose sight of that. Universal ain't gonna pay anything without a settlement agreement between us, so tell your lawyer to get one to me. Don't be stupid. Now, this is a crazy thing. I don't mean to interject, but this guy's kind of making like demands and telling Birdman what to do, but he says in the same breath, there's no paperwork. Then he says, reminder, you refused to work with me, and now look what you got. It would have been a lot cheaper to square me away than spend your energy and your resources playing. I guess that's another day. Now, he actually responds, and I'm talking about Birdman. He says, I'm work with you, fam. And then he says, and get you your money, all of it. I'm always work with you, fam. Now, the guy says, have your lawyer call me. There's no movement on your end. You haven't cleaned the slate, and you're too smart to forget $200,000. In my book, playing it off on Ed don't work because you're the boss man. I'm letting you know, my man, Develop is moving forward with his deadline. I'm giving you a heads up that I can't stretch protecting you anymore, and there's going to be some unnecessary takedowns to start and press to match. I left the bell or the ball sitting in your court because you had more than enough time to actually do something about it and save yourself a lot of money. I did you right. Then Birdman said, told you Ed is taking care of it all. Shit getting done. Then he says reflections, and then he says, I tried to help you, and Ed hasn't done shit. Now, pretty much, I mean, it's an open and closed conversation to me. I mean, in some cases, Texas could be used in court, but as far as the agreement that was made with all these songs, if there was no paperwork, my nigga, as Birdman said, save it. You're not getting shit. Okay? Now, I'm not sure why these producers, and I'm guessing maybe that's how business was done back in the day, they went on a bunch of verbal agreements. Well, that's not going to really hold up in court unless you really have something to hold them to the fire to. So we'll see, man. But it seems, man, at least in this case where people are trying to provide proof, seems like Birdman got this one. Okay, so we'll see, man, and we'll see what happens with this lawsuit and the other ones. Apparently, the one with him and Lil Wayne, he's been stalling, or his lawyers has been stalling. We'll see what comes out of it. Get in the comment box. Make sure you guys like, definitely subscribe. It's your boy, Akademiks, man. More lawsuits for Birdman. It'll always happen. Get in the comment box. I'm out.